Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for the opportunity. I'm Theresia Manalu, and I'm a student at School of Postgraduate Universitas Indonesia. Let me begin from the rationale this study conducted. The provocation of reading comprehension as one of the macro skills to be essential braille is typically spreading in Indonesian EFL teaching and learning sphere due to its meaning construction. The flowing process of meaning making involves the combination of information from a text and background knowledge in terms of schemata activation to construct meaning. Nonetheless, the fact of Indonesian students' proficiency in reading comprehension found in low level according to PISA as one of the most popular literacy assessments. One of the initial weaknesses found is in regards to the lack of facing various kinds of texts in the level of the text provided. But actually, PISA infuses 52% proportion for tables, narration, formula, graphic, and many other resources consisting of various semiotic modes. The existence of immense various text forms reinforces the complexity of 21st century learning representation between world and texts. This, of course, manifests the text immersed in a reading instruction to expose to this real communication in which teachers are used to carrying out in case of reading text. The nature of improving students' capability in terms of strategies in reading comprehension should be studied from the student itself, besides requiring teachers and students to read more, because in this case, the main factor is certainly the students on how they understand meaningfully various reading materials utilized in the classroom. In the meantime, to achieve a meaningful understanding of the particular reading passage, students indeed have difficulties in getting ideas, information, and unconsciously activating their strategy of prior knowledge in terms of schemata. That's why the metacognitive reading strategy is considered as a powerful strategy to be taught in the classroom. But we can see that metacognitive reading strategy refers to the implementation of metacognitive awareness in relating those two essential parts of learning, which are cognition and instruction, in terms of reading comprehension skill to understand meaningful information and idea in the passage. It is the strategy used by each student in obtaining information and ideas within a text based on the demanded instruction in a reading comprehension skill. That is actually the cognition and the reading strategy. Okay, let's take a study conducted in terms of how metacognitive reading strategies provided by the students in the classrooms. Let's take a look the first one from the Indonesian context. PAMU in 2014 conducted a research about the profiles of metacognitive reading strategies of the less provisioned EFL learners in Indonesia based on a case study research. This is actually a research conducted at English Department, Hasanuddin University. The findings showed that there is a high level of metacognitive awareness for the problem-solving strategy, but only at medium level for both global and support reading strategies. Another findings from different contexts of the site, where let's take a look to the Malaysia context, that's actually conducted Muhammad et al., who tried to determine the awareness and use of metacognitive reading strategies of good readers in Malaysia to emphasize the importance of employing reading strategies to engage students' critical understanding. This is actually in contrast with what PAMU had already conducted in Indonesia. They conducted a research to the less provisioned student, while in Malaysia they conducted their study towards the high achieving students. And then they found that good learners are aware of their own metacognitive strategy and frequently use used their metacognitive reading strategies to comprehend the text. That's all actually about the previous study I found, which very close to my research, to my current study. And then let's move to the Next, we come to the methodology of this study, on how this study conducted. The first one, from the materials, we can see that this 3-week multimodal based reading test emphasized and infused multimodal text in the implementation of multimodality. The 3 sets of multimodal text used employed more than one form of reading comprehension tests, which across the range of texts tested to make it useful in sense issuing the real-life reading, which typically is responded in a variety of different ways by students. And then the reading comprehension test used in this study covered reading comprehension test theoretically and practically. And then the reading comprehension test structured adapted originally from several sources, which then confirmed to the local English teacher to suit the topic used to their teaching syllabus. Thus, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was chosen as the supplementary topic for 3 weeks ahead, since the students had already given a video project about Proverbs. The author then, myself, adapted the first set of reading comprehension test from several sources. The first week, or the first set of the reading comprehension was the dominant representation modes was audiovisual modes in the form of a demonstrated video of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s biography. And the second set was the dominantly oral mode in the form of oral language. I have a dream speech delivered by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. as well. And the last page was the entirely linguistic mode in the form of complex typography, in which the script of the speech presented on a paper, and then the data analysis based on the reading comprehension test grading board, and then the Mercy questionnaire, which is based on the Likert scale, and then TAP Think Loud protocols, in which the qualitative data will be the qualitative data gathered in order to support the statistical finding from the Mercy. And then take a look to the procedures of the study. We can see that the first stage aimed to get students high achieving group. For the second phase, to collect and to tabulate the data. This phase consisted of 3 weeks activities during English virtual classes from Google Classroom platform. During 3 weeks meetings, the author, the English teacher distributed a set of English reading comprehension tests prepared previously to the 68 students. The purpose of this activity was not only to draw students' proficiency portrait, but also to stimulate students' metacognitive reading strategies activated along making meaning process. And then in the first meeting, or in the first session of the reading comprehension, the visual mode dominantly assigned to the students, and then after completing all the tasks in the first until the third weeks, the modified Mercy questionnaires will be administered to the students. And then the second stage aimed to get initial data about students' metacognitive reading strategies from the 3 representation modes, and this is actually on how the Mercy questionnaire addressed to the students in order to get the summary of the metacognitive reading strategies used or attempted by the students. And then the last steps of this research will will summarize all, or will tabulate all the data from the first and the second step of the study, that is actually the verbal data, during the think aloud protocols conducted. And then let's take a look to the findings and discussion. This is actually the first mode assigned to the students, and as we can see that high achieving students employed such kind of problem solving strategies more than 2 other strategies while reading audiovisual text mode, which allowed students to navigate their action plans through the text skillfully when the text becomes difficult to understand. You can see that the table 1, the table gives us information about the strategy of the students. The statistical finding on what kinds of strategies used by the students in order to make meaning, a long meaning making process. And as you can see in details, you can see that in table 2 presented the most frequently used strategies of visual text mode. You can see that the average score of all most used strategy was defined on high use. It can concluded that high achieving students disposed their global strategies on setting purpose for reading, and then on activating their prior knowledge. And next, the tendency used of problem solving strategy was also revealed. You can see that global problem solving and support reading strategy, and the most one will be the problem solving. And then next we come to the linguistic representation as the last mode of this study. We can see in table 5 and table 6 give us information about give us different information about the findings of this kind of mode. As indicated in table 6, problem solving strategies took the highest. From the table 5 took the highest overall mean score, yielding to a high level of awareness. It also indicated that high achieving students performed respective preference on problem solving strategy, which was more significant than the 2 rest strategies. This kind of information will give us the information that high achieving students are aware on setting their purpose in reading. The most used reading strategies, subscale and reading visual text mode. And then let's take a look to the results of think aloud protocols. As you can see that there are several strategies that explicitly showed or revealed by the students. The first one is using Google to translate difficult words, supporting aid. This one is as the supporting reading strategies, in which supporting aid like dictionary, online dictionary, or Google or something like search engine used by the students in order to understand the meaning of the passage, and then continually asking self question to guess the meaning, and then setting purpose for reading, in which global reading strategies activated by the student during the think aloud protocols. And then